You know you should be delegating, but let's be real, you don't trust anyone to do it as well as you. Or maybe you've tried delegating before and it backfired, so now you'd just rather do it yourself. Look, if you don't start letting go, you will never get out of the weeds. And if you never get out of the weeds, you're always going to be stuck in this never ending cycle of doing everything, which means your business can't grow. Today, I'm breaking down exactly how to delegate without feeling like you're losing control. Because delegation isn't about giving up control, it's actually about taking it back. So let's dive in. Hey, I'm Carla, business coach and former COO, and welcome to Not Another Business Coach. I help entrepreneurs like you step into your CEO role so you can stop working in your business all day and start leading it like a real business owner. If delegation feels impossible to you right now, grab your notebook because by the end of this episode, you're going to know exactly how to start offloading tasks without sacrificing quality. And if you're serious about making this shift, make sure to download my free business playbook. It'll help you create the systems that make delegation effortless. The link's in the description. So if delegation was easy, every entrepreneur would be doing it. But instead, here's what I hear all the time. No one will do it as well as me. It takes longer to teach someone than to just do it myself. What if they mess up? And I get it, because I used to think the exact same thing. But here's the thing, if you don't start delegating, I promise your business will always be limited by how many hours you personally have in a day. And when you think about it, you teach someone how to do something once and they can take it off your plate forever. So one of the biggest mistakes people make with delegating is not knowing what to delegate in the first place. That's why I use something called the Delegation Matrix. It breaks everything down into 4 categories. First is the zone of genius, the work you love and are the best at. This all stays on your plate. The second is off your plate, tasks you shouldn't be doing. These get delegated ASAP. Third is, I call it the control freak zone. It's tasks that you think only you can do, but someone else can actually handle just fine or even better. And then the fourth is down the line, stuff that isn't necessarily a priority yet, but will be eventually. Step 1 is you want to be brutally honest about what's actually moving the needle versus what's just keeping you busy. If it's not in your zone of genius, it's time to get it off your plate. And I learned this the hard way. Back when I was running operations at a marketing agency, I was doing almost everything. I was managing clients, I was running the back end, I was dealing with invoicing, jumping into projects because I thought I had to. And for a while, I felt productive. But then I looked up and realized I was completely stuck in the day-to-day, and I had no time to think strategically, no time to focus on growth, no time to do the actual work that would move the business forward. And guess what? I was a bottleneck. The moment I started actually applying the delegation matrix, things changed. I was able to offload most of the work I'd been doing, set up automations for repetitive tasks, and I handed things off that I thought I was the best at, only to realize my team could actually do them so much better. That shift freed up my time to actually be the COO instead of the busiest employee in the business. So here's how to delegate without losing control. Let's break down the 3 steps. Step 1, you want to start with systems. If you're handing off a task without clear instructions, it's going to fail. This is why every task you delegate needs a process, which is exactly what we build inside my Structure to Scale coaching program. Step 2, you want to give ownership, not just tasks. Look, if you micromanage every little thing, delegation work. The key is to not just assign tasks, but assign outcomes. So instead of saying, schedule this email, maybe tell them, make sure our weekly newsletter is scheduled every Monday, because ownership creates accountability. Step 3, you gotta learn to let go. If you want everything done exactly like you do it, you will never get anything off your plate. So you should be focused on the results, not the process. If the end result meets the goal, does it really matter if they took a slightly different approach? No, it doesn't. One of my clients was completely overwhelmed, but when we talked about delegating, she immediately shut it down. She just didn't trust that anyone could do the work as well as she did. And honestly, she wasn't wrong yet, because at that point, she didn't have any systems in place. So instead of forcing delegation, we focused on building her business playbook. So we documented her processes, set up her workflows, and made sure she had clear expectations for every task. And once she had that, her confidence in delegating flew through the roof. Within a few months, she'd cut back 10 hours a week without feeling like everything was going to fall apart. That's the power of structured delegation. It's not about blindly handing things off. It's about setting people up for success so you can step out of the weeds. So, what's the first task you're getting off your plate this week? Drop it in the comments. And if you're serious about freeing up your time and stepping fully into your CEO role, grab my free business playbook. It'll walk you through the exact framework I use with clients to make delegation so much easier. The link is in the description. And if you loved this episode, make sure you're subscribed so I can see you in the next one.